music, and thank you for joining my session. So, the whisper from Black Lahu themes for clarinet uh, and viola and piano. So it's inspired me by the something from that I did a field work in the marathon in 2008. So first of all, I always believe that while we working around the idea of the interdisciplinaries, that it will be open minds in the new dimension perspective for me. Actually, I background was as Western classical music, and that is sometimes there are many sometimes that I think I quite far from my music culture. Luck to me, when I was an undergrad student, so I met Anand and Anotai, who is give me many inspirations and extended and opened my mind in the music understanding. I had many opportunities to work with the people in the community in many situations. In the music of the fieldwork practice, for example, with the immigrants people and children in slum, Hill Thai people, and so on. In every fieldwork, there are many times that the activity have to relate it to the idea of music improvisations. It developed myself to music understanding, particularly in the music making. First of all, I would like to quote a sentence from the Professor Gabriel Solis, a musicologist, that he said that the study of improvisation will ultimately melt into the basic paradigms of musical study, so that there no more may no longer be a rationale for studying it at a distance from the rest of music making. In this composition in brief, I would like to tell you a little bit about there are 4 stages that I invent this creative work. Firstly, is learnings, analyzing, composing, and the performance. But actually, my life, I'm not a composer. But in the same time, I think it's very important that I have to do something that I will present it to the other people. For example, this kind of thing. And first of all, the first process that I learning, what I learning? Okay, I have to back a little bit in this last June 2016. My friend who is the clarinetist, he invited me to perform Mozart trio K498 for his doctoral performance. In addition, I interest to the Bruch trios and opus 83. Both repertoire, the musical instrument are clarinet, viola, and piano. It's made me interesting that when I comparison to this composer, when I kickstart up to the rehearsal, I found that Mozart trios composed with the idea of the cadenza of its instrument to demonstrate the performing possibility of it. And moreover, the ornamentations of this piece is brilliant, that he adapted the idea around the idea of the cadenza, right? And the Bruch trio, of course, he brings some folk tunes that inspire him to compose this piece. And this X piece is like a collector pieces. From the study that it was found that Mozart and Bruch tried to develop the interplay between the 3 instruments. It means between the clarinet, viola, and piano, and playing an important role in the developing the pianistic style and also the melody from the clarinet and viola. Also. And calm and serene mood. Both trio demonstrated a musical language that took advantage of the combination of clarinet, viola, and piano to evoke primarily calm and serene mood. From this study, it inspired me to compose an any piece for this instrument, because that I have the idea of the improvisation when I was working in the community, but my friend have no the idea from related to improvisation, the element of the music with the people at the hill type. So that's why I have to write a note like as a guideline to them, and I will just gradually explain to them. In my hand, I have many hill type melody that are that is my favorite music called idioms. When I took the inspiration by community music project in 2008, I took part in Mae Hong Son province at the northern part of Thailand. That time I learned a lot of songs from the local hill type of the Highlands, such as Monk, Karen, Black Lahu, Black Lahu, and so on. For this composition, I will focus on only the melody of Black Lahu Hill type music. The Black Lahu music is a simplicity and normally played repetitively as a part of ritualistic ethnic dance. It shows the social engagement of the people at there, and of course, it makes me impressed very much. And yesterday in the opening ceremony, Professor Nigel Osborne said a sentence that song gives the message. I totally, completely, whatever, agree with this sentence. The traditional Black Lahu musician performs that song by can is really softness and convey a sense of longing one feel when missing the other. It's very expressiveness for me. And he suddenly said to meet someone who lives at those mountains, and he pointed to the another mountain that, oh, I really think of you very much. I think it's implied that some people that he loved and passed away already. So that's why. This is a very dramatic, and also the music look like a poem. He would like to send this message to her at those mountains. When I sing this melody that I have known for 10 years, it's always bring me back to the feeling of that time, such the sense of the smelling at there, and sighting, and also hearing. At the next stage that I try to, before I compose this piece, after I learned the melody, I tried to analyze these songs at the Western music notation style, including the social context of this piece, and also the function. I had to learn the function of the song that I mentioned you before. This picture that you can see Anotai inside of this. Okay, now he played the melodica. That is a process that I learned the melody from the traditional musician there. We learn the hill type music while we working with the local Black Lahu hill type, and we try to do the counting, singing, and quick notation based on the knowledge of Western music ourselves. In the practical way, local music master will give you only 3 times for the melodies, no more than this. I'm quite sure that, and he's always make sure that you can remember of the melody or not. So we have to find in every way to try to remember of it. Importantly, he will check you that they are in progress or not. If you can play, it will okay, fine. And if the traditional musician will be happy and okay, you got it. If you have no any progress to remember of the melody, for example, if you cannot to remember of it, next round the traditional musician will be play quicker and quicker. So you have to help yourself that time. So ear trainings and for what ear trainings or music theory, that time you have no time to think about that. You have to learn it very quickly at that time. Anyway, I have to thanks to my old music teacher that they give me a good musical knowledge, and I ready to work, and so we survive that time. We can remember of those melodies actually. Okay. the sound of Black Lahu, it reveals softness and conveys a sense of longing one feel when missing the other. It's always bring me back to the feeling of that time that I mentioned you, smelling, sighting, and hearing. In the field, I have got more than the understanding of Black Lahu music, but I could give this inspiration to take this opportunity back to my life. This is a melody that I try to notation like Western classical style, and I don't want to write the whole bar live 5 stuff. I just only take of it because of the traditional musician that don't want to in every round repeat it. He will not play the same, but he will try to like adapt it. For example, the ornamenting and what else? Ornamenting or some change the duration of the note. So, would you mind if we take this opportunity to sing this melody together? Okay, we start with la 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 la. If I 1, 2, go. La 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 and it will repeat again and again and again the whole night repeating, right? Okay, so from this melody I try to composing. In developing my composition, I took this inspiration, this tradition to establish a dialogue between the clarinet, viola, and the piano. It is the same combination of the instrument as Mozart and Bruch that I mentioned you before. Moreover, while integrating improvisational elements, borrow from a local musical culture. And my notation, it will, that I will show you in the next slide, it is just only the guideline to the musician, and the musician can be do the ornamenting and on and all improvising in this guideline note. If the musician would like to, we all have to do the thing like an interpretation together and find some way, which way is like a calm and serene mood that we would like to perform. So it means that they can manage themselves. This is the first part of the piece. It begins with the piano tremolo in the lower octave, and you can see this tremolo in the lower octave. With the piano theory adding the selected pitch color within the continuous musical flow, might be this octave, those octave, this octave, those octave in the blue circle. Like a calm and serene, I will try to mention of this. And next, the viola introduced the Black Lahu themes, but it's not the same at all. I try to extend some note and just do the flip the note or something. And we so on to join the clarinet part later, before the rehearsal mark A. This session will be like an improvisation dialogue around the central theme. Next is the variation of the variation are then introduced with the viola playing a string broken chord. You can see that it look difficult, right? But it's all the open string as well. And also you can see the overlap by energetic brush on the piano, on the blue line. We try to do ensemble many times. In the final section, the clarinet bring back to the main theme again, the dance arrangement with the gradually decayed to reach the serene ending. from the process of learning to the performance, the musician can be explore the interpretation by ourselves to see the possibility to make the sound at the calm and serene mood. That is my attention. Also, I convince the audience to imagine that sense of the smell, sighing, hearing, and the no no that the receive from those fieldwork experience. Ladies and gentlemen, from now to the next 7 minutes, I would like you to join us, to imagine that in front of you there are some mountain, a big mountain. Beside of you there are there are the long river. And you're about to close your eye time. Welcome my friend Amy, the pianist, and the musician. We have just rehearsal this morning, right? Because actually last time performance, musician will not be in the concert. The artist tried to do this song. So could you close your eyes, please, and imagine that I mentioned you. Thank you. you.
Well, thank you very much for that wonderful performance. That was really beautiful. I feel I had 3 cups of coffee today, but now I feel much better. So thank you. It was really beautiful.